Thank you for taking the invitation. I'm really happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for inviting me to be your guest in your work, in your university.
Thank you so much. I was gonna ask a question about the issue of young people leaving and intervene with education as for what are the push factors that drive people away from Slovakia, and mainly how would you solve this? Basically, how do you think we could solve this outward migration that we currently are having?
So I would say that brain drain basically has been like an issue or a thing that we have talked about for, I don't know, since I remember that I'm in student movement. So basically, I would say that each and every stakeholder or minister or politician would ask me, like, how do we tackle brain drain? What do we do? What should we do? And until last year, we actually didn't even have any strategy in Slovakia, even though we knew it was a problem. But we didn't have any strategy on, like, nationally, to tackle brain drain, which is, crazy work because, like, you need to have a strategy if you know something is a problem. And the thing is that this strategy was created. We were part of it as a student council for higher education, and it's like a white paper for the government that the former government left. This actually should be a tool right now for the government to work on the things that they should do in order to prevent brain drain. But the thing is that we will see the outcomes in the year 2030 the soonest. So if we even started doing it right now, it will take a lot of money, a lot of energy, a lot of political will, which is really, like, crucial for this project, and it will take a lot of time to do. But we need to do it, and it's not, like, only quote unquote because of young people are leaving. They are leaving their parents, their families. Slovakia doesn't have any more young people, and the whole generation will not be in Slovakia, but they will probably be in Czech Republic. But the biggest problem is economical, and this is something that we and the team that was working on it last year tried to work on, because we thought that, okay, so how do we convince anybody who will be in the government that this is a problem and you should tackle it? Through money. So the people in the National Bank of Slovakia, they calculated how much money Slovakia actually loses per 125-year-old person that finishes school and leaves Slovakia. So he doesn't pay. They don't pay taxes in Slovakia. They don't have their productive work and productive time in Slovakia. And each year, 8 to 10,000 people leave, right? And per 125-year-old person that leaves and doesn't come back to Slovakia, we lose 2.8 million euros per one.
Wow.
Because of the productive time that they would spend in Slovakia, so approximately 40 years of working in a state, in a country, so like taxes, going to buy groceries and everything that you are doing, you are contributing to GDP. And if you do it in another country, Slovakia loses 2.8 million euros per one person. And each year we lose 8 to 10,000. So this is mostly economical problem, and they should do something about it. And this is the thing that I wouldn't really compare it to climate change, because that is like a huge problem. But when you want to tackle climate change, right? Like, okay, I can recycle, I can bike to work, I can not buy single-use plastic, and so on and so on. But the big guys really need to do the change, because you are just one person. This is kind of the same with brain drain. The big guys need to do the change, because if I am the one going to my friends and telling them, listen, you shouldn't leave Slovakia because we need you here, and you are part of the movement, and we'll lose money as a state, then what is it? I talk to 5 people and they stay. Okay, there is some money, but it's not it. We need to do something. So there is this document last year that was created. There are like things and results maybe that the government and higher education institutions and municipalities should do in order to tackle brain drain. And the thing is that right now my work, and I was hired on the 1st of September, right? So this was my first day of work. I was hired to do this for the government. So my job right now is to work on people not leaving. Then I have colleagues. Then one colleague is focusing on the people that left, getting them back to Slovakia. Then other colleague is focusing on foreigners coming to Slovakia, so not Slovak people coming back. And then other colleague is focusing on people that left Slovakia and are staying abroad to work with them. So like we have this department at the government's office, we are working on it, but it still needs to be a political priority, right? Because we can do some things. We are right now working on some models that our higher education institutions could use to hire our high schoolers to go to Slovak universities, but still we have a lot of strategies right now, so we have some solutions that we could use. But if we are talking about young people as and I'm trying to say this as politically correct as possible, if you are trying to talk about young people and students as someone who should be quiet and they are not relevant, then we are throwing our future away. That is the doom that will end Slovakia and its future, because there will be not enough people to work, and there will be not enough people to pay off the debts of our country, and there will be not enough people to work on our retirement costs. So this will be the biggest problem. So we need to think about this, and that's again, like we all can think about it, we all can do our part, but the job is on the big guys.
Yeah. Once again, a lot of information that I believe not even half of the Slovakia knows, of people interested only. That is incredible. I'm sorry, I'm just stunned. So my next question that I wanted to talk about, since we're talking about government and its work, and we are the one who elect the government. It's the citizens' basically job to choose who is going to represent them. And we have just run through like quite a raging amount of elections. And considering this, I've heard, and many people around me, I believe, have heard, that not everybody wants to use their vote. Because, for example, one of the most used arguments for this is that they don't feel like the candidate, any of the candidates, it doesn't matter the election, doesn't suit their taste. Which, well, to me, seems really paranoid, but I would like to know your take on this question.
I totally understand people saying that like certain politicians don't fulfill their taste, and basically they are trying to choose the best one. But again, I would say that this is the fault of education, because it's very naive to think that there will ever be like the best politician for us, or someone that will represent us and we'll be like 100% satisfied that okay, this is the best that we ever wanted and this is what I voted for, because we need to like give up the idea of ideal politician, because oftentimes I say that politicians are our employees, and even if I was a manager and I had to hire some employees, they will never be ideal. I will just have to train them to be ideal. And how do we do this? How do we train our politicians to be ideal? That's through social movements. And I believe this is the part of social movement that is the most important, because we need to use it to train our politicians, because they need to understand that basically we are paying them because they should do the work for us. They are our employees, and that's through signing petitions. saying what we think is important. So basically, if we have some kind of forums where we can say that, okay, I don't like this, you should do this and this and this. Basically, you can, like, the easiest thing where you can do it is on your local level, because you have like the meetings with the mayor, and like they are public, and they are public by the law. So like nobody can tell you that you need to leave. And this is like the easiest thing that you can do, that like go up and say like, okay, I don't like that, I don't know, the traffic in our town is like horrible, you need to do something with this. Because you need to give them feedback so that they know that they are doing a horrible job. And you can actually do this on national level as well, because the committees at the national government, at the national parliament, they are actually public as well. And they are public as well by the law. Duh. So you can actually go there and you can say to the politicians that this is, I don't know, committee for education, okay? And so I think that you should work on a new law that says that citizens should, I don't know, learn about the European Union for 5 hours a week. You can say it, like, it won't happen, but you can say it. So like, I think that we don't have enough knowledge and education about all the things that we can do to participate in the process, and how we can actually train our politicians. And I mean training them in the long run. Because the higher the threshold we have for the politicians, so the more we say that I need my politician to be loyal, to be democratic, to be pro-European, to have like a really, really strong stand on special topics that I believe in. If we won't say it, and if we won't show it, then the bare minimum will be the thing that will represent us. And that is not acceptable for many people. So I would say that if people are not satisfied and they say that like no one from this palette is sufficient enough for me, then choose the best one that you think. Because if you choose no one, then the others will decide for you. And I hate doing having my voice taken from me to someone else. I think that's worse than voting for someone who isn't genuine. So I think that we should at least try, because nobody is perfect, and I think that's really hard to realize, even in politics. And I would say a good thing to have like a perspective is to talk to people from another countries where they have another government and some politician that you maybe like love or adore. Because for me, when I talk to my friends and they are, I don't know, from Estonia, for example, and I say like, oh my God, I love your government. And they tell me like, yeah, like they're doing good things, but did you know that they did this? And I'm like, oh, so like, yes, of course, nobody's perfect. Like you cannot have everything, and that's the reality. And I'm sorry, but if you think that you could have everything and there should be like ideal politician, then I'm sorry to inform you that it needs to be you, and you need to be the ideal politician. So I think that's the work, and you need to do it if you think that you will be suitable.
That is the most perfect definition I've ever heard as an answer to this dilemma. I cannot conclude the fact that you just said all of that in like a perfect manner. That I believe this needs to be heard. Thank you so much for attending. I believe you've widened up the perspective of many, many people, not only abroad, but also Slovakians, and I cannot be grateful enough.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.